Okay guys, I have too many projects on the go right now. I have to record so many videos for all of the things that I've ordered to show you guys that I need to start getting on this backlog. I did tablets the last 2 weeks, but I have 4 other products that I've bought. I think 4. More than 4. So many products that I've bought that I need to start getting through this. So, without further ado, I apologize for the poor camera for this first clip, but it does get better later on.
Nice.
Okay, ignore this light shining right on this, but this one I am very excited about. Now this is supposed to be the tablet version of this controller. This is supposed to expand massively. You'll also notice this one is USB-C, but it is also supposed to be dual, both USB-C and Bluetooth. The reason that matters is because Call of Duty Mobile only works with Bluetooth controllers, and you have to simulate an Xbox controller in order to use it. So let's open this up. Now I will say too, this box does not look like it's being drop-kicked across the ocean to get to me, so that's a plus. Okay, I thought that's how it opened, but it does not. It has been a little drop-kicked. So in the box you get this plastic tray that is probably going to be broken because they drop kick everything across the Atlantic Ocean to get here. Or Pacific or whatever. Geography is not my strong point. So all you get is a user manual and the controller itself. Oh. Okay. These joysticks, those feel right. Now again, bringing the dirty Xbox controller in, they are still a little bit smaller, and rather than having a dish in the center, they are humped. Now like I said, this is the tablet version. This is supposed to open very wide. You have Hall effect joysticks. They have a little more resistance than an Xbox controller. I like a stiff joystick. Anyway, now if my wife was in a better mood, I'd get her to help me expand both of these. You know what? The D8 Pro is still the biggest so far. This is the largest controller so far. But it is bigger than the D11.
Backward never. Backward never.
So, as you saw in that video, I managed to destroy this little pad. It does come off in one piece, but it is very difficult to get at. The rubber on top is incredibly thick, and accessing the actual sticky part underneath, very difficult. I would not recommend even attempting this because, to be honest, I have not gained much extra width from doing this. However, if you are going to do this, I would advise buying that little strip that comes with the expansion kit, the wire ribbon, because you will get a little bit extra length. It's time for my review of the tablet Memo S3. This controller has become my go-to as far as handheld gaming. You've seen it in previous videos, and I have not taken the time to actually review this one just because I wanted to get those other two out. They were super cool tablets. I have so many more devices coming that are a little more interesting than this. However, this is still my favorite handheld controller. That's even with having a GameSir G8 Plus. I love the lack of latency on it. It's very responsive. You can put it in an Xbox mode. The Xbox mode is not shown in the user manual, but basically you just hold the function button down and X, and it'll put it into a Bluetooth mode. So you have to run it using your USB and then connect it to Bluetooth as well afterwards. But by doing that, it will work with Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty Warzone, it just works right off the bat. You just plug it in and it's fine. I would say that this is probably the most difficult handheld to mod. That being said, I kind of focused in on where you need to cut. You can mod it to fit a Z13, an ROG Flow Z13. If you look in there, you see how the corners are kind of cut? They're kind of rough in there. You have to do that on both sides because there's these little tabs on the outside of this that stop it from pulling out. Now, pre-warning, if you do this mod, it's irreversible. You are going to end up with a couple of issues. The springs are eventually going to stretch, and as you see, my controller does not close all the way. I might be able to re-lubricate it in order to get it to close properly, but I don't know. I would take this with a grain of salt. If you're not using a Z13 Flow, I would not do this modification. It fits up to a 10, 11-inch tablet. The only tablet that I found that didn't fit were the 14-inch and anything over 12.5. So the Lenovo Tab Pro. Anyways, the face buttons of all the controllers I'm going to be reviewing, this has the best feel of the face buttons as far as I'm concerned. They're super clicky. They're just very, very satisfying to press. The sticks have a ton of drag on them. I absolutely love that. I hate loose sticks, and I find that Hall effect sticks can be pretty loose. These ones have a ton of drag. It's great. I love them. The linear triggers have a little bit of resistance to them, which again, I do not hate. I cannot stand when mobile controllers come with just clicky triggers. They need to have linear triggers. If they don't have linear triggers, I won't even use them. I know a lot of people who like fighting games don't like this sort of recessed D-pad. I'm not into fighting games, so with that, you're going to have to work with your own experience. Unfortunately, I can't advise on that. I did find that plugging in via USB-C to a computer didn't work. You have to actually plug it in with this USB-C or power it via that and then put it into Xbox mode in order to get it to pair via Bluetooth. But then you're losing out on the zero latency interface, or virtually zero latency interface. Now, this controller is more expensive. I got it on sale. Okay, I got it on one of AliExpress's sales, and it actually wasn't that bad price. This is the tablet version, and it was $45 Canadian. Taxes and shipped to my door. Obviously, if you're buying it from the States, it's going to be a little bit more expensive because it is coming from AliExpress and you guys have your tariffs. That being said, this is still a great controller. And if the G8 Plus is getting hit with the same tariffs, this is a great replacement as long as your device can interface with USB-C. Any of the Y700 or Legion tabs, any of the Aldo Q 8.4-inch tablets, they all work great with this. If you're just using a phone, any phone is going to fit in here. Highly recommend grabbing it. There are still some things that I could see improved on. In particular, I would like to see it expand a little wider because honestly, there are some big tablets, and me personally, I like to play on big tablets. I like to have that big screen. The joysticks could have a little bit more diameter on them. They're not bad. They're not quite the size of an Xbox Series X controller. And instead of a divot, they have a bump in the middle. So I would love to see having full-size sticks with the indent instead of the bump, just like on an Xbox controller. That being said, it's not a deal breaker. They are still incredibly comfortable. The turbo function is kind of weird. I don't really use turbo. I haven't tried setting it up. So if you're looking for a controller with a turbo function, you're going to have to look up how to use that. Personally, I think that's cheating. Just don't use it. The amount of different modes that it comes with are great. And just maybe a little bit easier access to the screws to take it apart would be also helpful, as well as being able to connect it by USB. Essentially have the USBs connected so that it's a pass-through. So if I want to be able to use this on a PC or an Xbox or something like that, I could just run a USB and plug it in. So it does have pass-through charging. So you can charge your device while you're playing. I do find it a little awkward because it's kind of where I would put my fingers here. This would be nice if it was either on top or on the bottom. I mean, even up here beside the triggers would be a better spot. But overall, again, still not a deal breaker. This is still my daily driver. This is going to continue being my daily driver until I find something better, essentially. Alrighty, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the review of this controller. If you guys are looking to buy it, I have a link in the description. It is an affiliate link. It does help support the channel. It is the only way my channel makes any money right now due to the fact that I cannot monetize because I do not have the viewership or the subscribers. Of course, like, comment, subscribe. I do post shorts every day, and I go live just about every day for 45 minutes to an hour. Alrighty. I hope you guys have a great day. I love y'all. Y'all beautiful. Okay, bye.